One shot. Get the fuck out of here. Oh my lord. Let's go, baby.
That wasn't so hard now, was it? How's that for a takedown, you angry metal end table?
What's going on, guys? It's your boy Scare Soldier back with another Borderlands 3 video, and in today's video we got another Zane build for you guys that is quite awesome. So we're gonna explain the whole thing right now. So first things first, you know we have the back burner, and why do we have a back burner? Because I'm gonna show you right now what's gonna happen. We didn't die. That's exactly what happened. So I'm going to show you why that's important for this build, and I'm going to explain you the whole setup. So first things first, we're going to start off with the actual gear. So the weapons you are going to be looking for are things like the complex root, the anarchy, back burners, anything that you felt like could kill you won't anymore, so you can use them. They're all fair game. Like the root especially can absolutely destroy you if you're not using like a red suit, or you're not using a transformer, let's say, with the right element. You will absolutely be wiped out, but now it does not matter. So aside from the weapons, you also want the anointments. So some of the best ones are going to be while Sentinel is active. Also next to mags is going to be very, very nice as well. And action skill and splash damage is also another great anointment to have on this build. Now for the actual shield, we're going to want the Old God with elemental damage. Look for cryo, that's going to be your best bet. But if you do use corrosive weapons, then of course this one's fine as well. But the most important thing after you have an Old God is that you have action skill and anointment. That's going to be very good, as well as on your grenades. You want double action skill ends. Next, for the artifact, you simply just want a Snowdrift or an Icebreaker Victory Rush. Make sure it's Victory Rush. And also you want either area of effect damage, cryo damage, movement speed, mag size. Those are all going to be some of the best rolls you can have on both of these. And these are situational. So for a Snowdrift, you would use this for slide shooting bosses. And an Icebreaker is more going to be for mobs. Now, when it comes to the actual class mod, which is very interesting, is going to be the Hustler. So the Hustler is going to be the best class mod out of them all for this build, because the Hustler allows us to get critical hits on non-critical areas of the enemy. So when you're spec'd into the purple tree real quick, you want to hit critical hits to get the most out of the purple tree, but essentially if you miss and you hit a non-critical point, you're just going to be getting regular damage. What the Hustler allows you to do is, again, get those non-critical hit areas to become critical hits. So basically the whole enemy body is fair game. So the Hustler gives you up to 125% bonus critical hit damage, which is nuts. And also, of course, you have to get the stacks to 5 times to get the 125% full bonus, and that's very easy to do with weapons that have multi-pellets. That's why the Anarchy is so good. Every single shot with the Anarchy is basically a critical hit, at least, or multiple shots of those Anarchy pellets are going to be a critical hit, and all that good stuff. So that's going to be a really good thing. Now, I did use this build with the Silent Spy because a lot of people like it. Now, the Silent Spy is really cool, but I'm going to show you the difference real quick in the skill tree. So the Silent Spy does give you a +1 into the capstone, which is going to be an extra 25% bonus in this category right here. So we go from 25 to 50% bonus damage dealt, which is a 25% increase. So with that increase of 25%, we're also going to be getting more into Headman's hand, and this is going to be good because we're also going to be getting more critical hit damage, so that's good. But the real value of this, when you put them both together, we're getting 25% multiplicative damage from this one here, and you're also getting a total of 50% bonus damage when you have 4 points basically into here, and that's going to give you, because it stacks twice, but it's going to be 50% roughly extra. So if you take the 4 points out, which I'll do that right now so to give you a better visual, right over here. So instead of having 54%, we're going to have 30%. So that's okay. That's basically just an increase of double. So we're only getting 50% extra critical hit damage with 4 extra points into Headman's hand, and we're getting 25% extra in Our Man Flint. So when you put those together, that's roughly about 75% extra damage, okay? Or critical hit damage, bonus damage, whatever you want to call it. But critical hit damage, that's an extra 50%, whereas the Hustler is giving us 125% and also gives us a chance to hit critical hits on non-critical hit areas. So we're constantly doing critical hits, which means we're taking full advantage of this purple tree all the time, okay? Plus, we also getting points into Brain Freeze, which is going to be good for the for things like the Icebreaker and all that stuff, okay? Now, moving on quickly to explain the skill tree is looking a little different. We decided not to go with Deja Vu because this is not the best perk, actually. If you actually read what it does, you have to kill an enemy with a critical hit to have a chance for 1 ammo to be added to his mag size. So imagine if you're using something like, we'll show you real quick. Let's say you're using the... Here, I'll show you a little example, guys, real quick to make it look cool. So let's say you're using a smog. Look how fast. Here, let's get some fire rate up here. Look how fast those bullets are going out. So let's say I kill an enemy with a critical hit. That means I'll have 1 extra bullet with every kill. What good is that going to do with a gun that has a ton of fire rate like this? Look at this. Ooh, 1 extra bullet after that kill. 1 extra bullet after that kill. That's nothing. That's really not going to help us by any means necessary. So maybe with a sniper, it's going to be good for one-shots. But again, other than that, not the best perk. So we went all out into Mana Focus to get us down the tree. And Mana Focus is actually legit because, again, you're getting so much accuracy and handling. You literally have no weapon sway, no recoil, and your bullet spread is super, super tight, guys, that you're literally shooting laser beams with pretty much any gun in the game, which allows you to hit critical hits even easier. So Mana Focus technically can translate to more damage, although it doesn't give you actual damage, and makes your shots more accurate, which means you are missing less, which means more damage, okay? Now, heads man's hand, we're still speccing into that, of course, more critical hit damage ×2. We're getting Commitment, which has unlimited stacking potential, so you're having a ton of cooldown rate for your action skills, plus a ton of gun damage. We have Fugitive to give you the option to sprint and shoot with rocket launchers and all that stuff to give you even more damage because Zane is based off of speed. We have Domino Effect giving us more reload speed and fire rate. We have Sheer Will, which is giving us cooldown rate. And all this is based off of scoring critical hits, and the Hustler allows us, if we miss the critical hit area of the enemy, we can actually shoot their bodies and get critical hits, and all this will be active, which is very, very good. We also have the Eraser in case we can actually line up an enemy against a boss, and we can do tons of damage as well. And we also have our man Flint. So we have the Mantis with the Colder Shoulder, and we also have the Proliferation, giving us 2 extra charges. And then finally, we have the blue tree. So we have the Hitman tree. We basically went all the way down to the Death Follows Close. We picked up a ton of DPS. We also got Violent Speed, Violent Momentum, Drone Delivery. We didn't pick up Cold Bore because the majority of the time, this is not really consistent at all. It's like if you remember to swap your guns and then shoot, it's something you have to think about. So again, it's not active enough for me to actually need it, and we're already doing a ton of damage, which you're going to see in some gameplay. Moving on, we have Violent Violence giving us more fire rate, more reload speed with Cool Hand. Seen Red. Now Seen Red kind of nulls out Seen Dead and also the Silent Spy. If you look over at the Silent Spy and the Seen Dead, what's convenient with the Seen Dead is it activates all your kill skills by just dealing damage to enemies, and the Silent Spy literally just activates all your kill skills after you finish the last charge of your Mantis. But literally just by having Seen Dead, all you have to do is activate your Mantis once and all your kill skills are active. So you don't even need the primary effect of those class mods anyway. So pretty much Seen Red nulls those all out. All right, now last thing, we have this skill tree here, and this is how we get immunity. So the duct tape mod allows us to have immunity. So if you read down below, it says additionally Zane gains immunity from his own guns and grenades. So by having 1 point into here, we activate that effect, and literally all our weapon splash damage and all that stuff does not affect us. The only thing is that we can get dotted, but again, the dots are way less deadly than the impact of the initial shot. So just having 1 point into here allows us to be immune from the Root, from the Anarchy, from the Backburner, from anything like that. So this is going to be our go-to. We're also getting a little bit of extra mag size, which is going to lead to more damage per second, and a little bit of border time never hurts. But yeah, this is pretty much what we wanted, which was the duct tape mod. And most players are going to be jealous because most players would love their splash damage not to affect them, but luckily for Zane, we actually got it with this perk here, and just with 1 point, we're good to go. So that's pretty much it, guys. That is how the build is set up. We're going to show you some gameplay and see how godly this build is. Alright guys, so we're going to show you what this build is all about. We're going to take it out on Grave Ward first with our Complex Root, one of our favorite guns for this build. And we're just going to run at him with our Fugitive with the Sprint Shoot. And just look at that, guys. Insta kill right there for you. Now, typically after we would kill Grave Ward without the duct tape mod, we would actually go down because of all the ricochets. But because the duct tape mod gives us the ability to be immune to our own damage and also grenade damage, allows us to survive things like the root, things like splash damage from the Anarchy or any other gun like the Backburner, Plague Bearer. You can get up close in enemies' faces with splash damage weapons and not deal any damage to yourself, which is crazy. Now, the only type of damage you will do to yourself is dot damage, so like the elemental damage, elemental puddles and things from the actual explosion of like something like an Anarchy when you chuck the T-door and it explodes, but that's pretty much it, and that won't really actually kill you. So pretty much with this build, what you want to note is that you have to ADS as much as possible, because that's how you're going to get the bonuses from Our Man Flint. Now, the way that one works is that you have to aim down sights, and you're going to be getting bonus damage, and also when you hit a critical hit, you're going to be applying status effects to the enemies, which is very good because that's some bonus dot damage and alongside all the damage you're already doing. Now, also with that, you want to make sure you're always moving to get as much damage as possible with a character like Zane. And just for example, right here, we're using fire versus armor, and look how much damage we're doing. That's just because the Anarchy is such a strong shotgun by itself, and just with everything put together, it's super, super good. That's why we use the Hustler, because the Hustler takes advantage of a gun such as the Anarchy, which has a ton of pellets, because we can pretty much shoot anywhere on the enemy's body, and we're most likely going to get a critical hit. And those critical hits are going to be deadly because we have a ton of critical hit bonuses in our trees, in the purple tree in general. So that is why the Hustler is the best choice, because if we do not hit an actual critical hit, we will be getting a critical hit some way, somehow, because we have a chance to on non-critical hits. Plus, we have a 20 pellet count, so we have a ton of chances to do that. And we'll pretty much have all 5 stacks every single shot because we have 20 pellets per shot. So pretty much that's how it works. My final tip to you guys is make sure you understand the skill trees as best as possible, because sometimes it is easy to forget what your perks do. So things like Our Man Flint, make sure you're aiming down sights, make sure you're always moving as well with Zane to get benefits from the violent momentum, violent speed, slide shoot with a snowdrift to take advantage of how crazy violent momentum scales, and also make sure that you use the weapons that I recommended, like the Anarchy, the Backburners, the complex roots. Any gun that does splash damage is welcome because you can go up to enemies and deal damage, and whatever splash damage you do to them will not affect you anymore. I know a lot of most players are a little jealous about that, but that's alright because we were jealous of Mo's having the ability to sprint shoot at the same time. So we finally got that. We had to wait our turn. Most, you can wait too. So anyways, now you know all the secrets to the Zane the Invincible build. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Make sure you smash that like button. It helps the channel grow a lot. And also subscribe to the channel. Share it with your friends. We're trying to get more subscribers on the channel so we can get early access to things like the new DLCs, the new skill trees, and all that stuff in the future. So make sure you show some support, guys. And that's pretty much it. I'll catch you next one. It's your boy Scare Soldier signing out. Peace.